A baby is born with a string on its back. When the doctor gently pulls it, the baby starts crying instantly, but he can't reach the string on his own. Only with someone's help can he revive. When the boy collapses at school, everyone mocks him. When he's bullied, his desk mate steps in and chases the bullies away. Then they become best friends. Later they both join the military. Whenever the boy needed help, his friend pulled the string. Suddenly, a bomb throws them into the water. The boy, using his last strength, saved his friend. When the friend woke up, he tried to pull the string, but it snapped. Seeing the lifeless boy, the friend rushes him to the medical room. The friend looks at the broken string with regret. He knows it's the boy's life. However, upon entering the medical room, he finds the boy already awake. Do you know why? Girl frantically applying sunscreen, but the next moment. A century ago, a girl was leisurely sunbathing by the seaside when she suddenly felt a stinging sensation on her shoulder, as if she were getting sunburned. The girl wanted to apply some sunscreen, but she had left it behind in her haste to go outside. Just when the girl didn't know what to do, a mysterious object washed ashore with the waves. Curious, she approached and discovered it was a bottle of sunscreen. The girl joyfully picked up the sunscreen, paying no attention to the fact that there was no production date on the label. She went ahead and applied a generous amount to her arms. Feeling ecstatic, she quickly covered her entire body with sunscreen, then began passionately applying it to her legs. Only when she had coated her entire body in sunscreen did the girl finally stop, completely satisfied. However, after baking in the sun, her entire body turned bright red, emitting waves of heat. The butcher plunges the man into a boiling oil vat, scalding him alive, leaving his horrified companion in shock. Opening an oven, the butcher mercilessly stuffs the companion inside, showcasing the brutality at its peak. But just a day ago, the butcher was an honest cleaner. Thrown off a rooftop by a despicable group, he landed in a vat of chemicals, an intense pain spreading instantly through his skin. When the police arrived to help, his hands burst into flames upon touching him, forcing the butcher to flee in haste. Wherever he walked, chemicals corroded everything. Easing his pain in a bathtub resulted in his body mysteriously swelling, transforming the cleaner into a terrifying poisonous butcher. That night, a gang engaged in illicit dealings was confronted by passing police officers. The officers were subdued, and the thugs used a burning cigarette to torment him. After a brutal beating, with the thugs ready to execute, the butcher intervenes. After dispatching 3 gang members, he walked towards the police to save him. A man simmers his girlfriend of over a decade in water for 88 days, and she ultimately becomes a savory broth. The noodles made from this broth are incredibly famous locally, and the noodle shop is packed every day. A new waitress, the girl, falls for the man upon discovering he can cook exceptionally well and looks handsome. She decides to express her feelings one day, dressing up carefully for the occasion. As she gets ready to approach the man, she catches a waft of a delightful aroma. She's always been curious about how the man makes his flavorful broth, but he has kept it a secret. Driven by curiosity, she follows the scent. Upon reaching a room covered in plastic sheets, she discovers a large iron drum about 2 meters tall. When she opens it, the delicious smell engulfs her, and she watches as a hand emerges after a brief stir. The girl is so startled that she collapses to the ground. It's at this moment she feels something sticky, and she notices a pool of blood and a mobile phone on the floor. She instantly recognizes it as her coworker's phone. Just as she starts to piece things together, the man emerges, takes a spoonful, and comments that it's time for a change of ingredients. A man wields a 40-meter-long knife. Then, he places a leg into a machine, blending it into minced meat. After a series of processes, a delicious silk stocking burger is ready to be served. Little did we know, the man is not only a cannibal but also a dentist. The ingredients he just used happened to be this beautiful lady. The woman comes to the man for dental checkup. With no one else in the room, she starts reading a magazine. However, unbeknownst to her, the man secretly peeks from behind. When the woman discovers it, it becomes even more thrilling. This action instantly arouses the man's appetite. In the next moment, the man presses the switch. And just like that, the woman transforms into a delectable burger. Do you want to taste it? This guy's head is a big lump, with several big eyeballs on his chest. When he sees himself in the reflection, his ugly look makes him go crazy. Just just a while ago, he asked the girl if he was handsome. She was scared by the sight of strange lumps all over his face. He grabbed the girl's neck, repeating the question 1,000 times, but more lumps grew. His eyes also went all black. Suddenly, a bullet shot through. The guy stood up, mutating further. He walked towards the people, while an old man poured alcohol, trying to burn him, but the monster's screams gave everyone a massive headache. A woman, enduring the pain, put down her right hand. She picked up a lighter, and lit the spilled alcohol on the ground. The lady dentist yanked out the guy's healthy teeth. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then, she started dancing all excited. Just 10 minutes ago, the guy walked into the clinic with a toothache. The moment he stepped in, he hugged the lady dentist. Turns out, this man was her ex-boyfriend. After checking his teeth, she was getting ready to numb him, but he suddenly proposed getting back together, blaming his past mistakes on being drunk. Seeing the man's shameless attitude, the woman made a decision. Once the anesthesia had the man knocked out, she began pulling out his teeth one after another, from the upper jaw to the lower jaw. The more teeth she pulled, the more comfortable she felt. After the last tooth was out, she stuffed cotton into the guy's mouth and woke him up. The man, feeling uneasy, back home, in front of the mirror, he quickly removed the cotton from his mouth. Finally, there was an urgent knocking on the dentist clinic's door. The woman, realizing it was the cops, smiled and willingly opened the door. This woman grows butterfly wings behind her back.
Don't do this! Rita! Let's go!
Inside the room, a guy hangs in midair with gigantic iron hooks. The floor swarms with creepy crawly maggots. He's desperately trying to shake off those iron hooks. Strips of cloth around his arms start trembling down. To his horror, the skin on his arms is gone. A lady stumbles upon this place, totally blown away by what she's seeing. She wants to rescue the guy, but the iron door won't budge. The next moment she witnesses something weird. Butterfly wings sprout out from the guy's back, but then, intense pain hits her back.
Don't do this! Rita! Let's go!
Meanwhile, the man in the wheelchair grows butterfly wings too, devoutly crawling on the ground. He approaches the butterfly creature, drawing a knife. He thrusts it into the monster's neck. The man's wings vanish instantly. The creature turns into a bunch of butterflies and flies away. One day ago, a firefighter was cleaning up. Then he spotted a hole on the ground. Suddenly, he got pulled down. His body kept shaking. When he got back home, he started devouring the fridge's contents. During his shower, he felt an unbearable itch on his scalp, so he kept scratching, until, looking in the mirror, he realized his forehead skin had been scratched off. In a daze, he went to the playground to find his ex-girlfriend, brought her into the room. Just when the girlfriend was anticipating, the guy opened his mouth. A worm crawled out. The hot lady looked in the mirror, didn't notice any changes behind her. One day ago, her ex-boyfriend took her into a warehouse. A worm invaded her belly button. Since then, her body started acting different. She went to the bar alone, completely unaware of her boyfriend behind her. When she got to the bar, looking at the handsome guy in front of her, she immediately crouched down, then got taken to the restroom by the handsome guy. Miller just glanced once, closed the door. Just as Miller was about to join, the handsome guy suddenly ran out. Miller was about to question her, but his girlfriend started vomiting blood like crazy. That's what happens when you cheat.